A federal judge has granted preliminary approval to a settlement covering over 4 million PlayStation users. This $7.85 million settlement aims to resolve claims that Sony Interactive Entertainment engaged in illegal tactics to squeeze out competition in the digital game market. The lawsuit, which was filed in 2021, alleges that starting April 1st, 2019, Sony cut off third-party retailers from selling game-specific download vouchers. Sony has denied all claims of wrongdoing throughout this process. The settlement is limited to U.S. consumers who purchased eligible PlayStation games through the PlayStation Store, where a retail voucher existed before that April 1st, 2019 date, and where prices increased by at least 50 cents. There are more than 4.4 million people currently covered under this deal. Stay with me because I'm breaking down every detail of how this actually affects you later in the video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you won't miss the daily updates like this to stay ahead of them. It is honestly pathetic that Sony thought they could lock people into their own store, inflate prices, and expect nobody to notice. Now they are paying $7.85 million just to make the problem disappear. Classic corporate move. Make the money first, deny everything, then settle for a fraction of what was probably earned in the first place. We are breaking down every angle of this so you don't get played. This wasn't even the first version of the deal either. U.S. District Judge Araceli Martinez Olguin only approved it on April 8th after rejecting 2 earlier attempts over concerns about who was getting paid and whether these credits were basically just glorified store coupons instead of real compensation. And for most people, Sony is trying to make the whole thing look smooth and harmless. If your PlayStation Network account is still active, they'll just drop the credits straight into your wallet automatically. Notice that word carefully. Credits. They are not mailing you a real check unless you go out of your way to ask for one. Sony is giving people store credit so the money goes straight back into their own ecosystem. It's the oldest trick in the book. Refund people in a way that still keeps them spending inside your store. And if you already got tired of their nonsense and deactivated your account, now you have to jump through extra hoops just to get actual cash. You have to track down the settlement administrator yourself and request a paper check before the August 27, 2026 deadline. Miss it and you get absolutely nothing. They are clearly betting most people either won't notice or won't bother. And it gets worse. If you're actually angry enough to sue Sony yourself, you only have until July 2nd, 2026 to opt out of this settlement. If you don't file the paperwork in time, you lose the right to challenge them over this issue later. Forever. Before we finish, hit that subscribe button. These companies count on people staying distracted while they quietly lock users deeper into their systems. Because honestly, this whole thing feels like a slap in the face. Sony gets accused of acting like a monopoly, pays a relatively tiny settlement, then refunds people with store credits that keep the money trapped inside PlayStation anyway. They keep the users, keep the ecosystem, keep the control, and barely lose anything in the process. Do you think a few dollars in PlayStation credit makes up for years of inflated prices? Or is this just another corporate loophole designed to protect Sony more than the players? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe for more breakdowns on what these tech companies are really doing behind the scenes.